good evening, folks. Happy to see everyone out there today. We got a nice big crowd. It's the usual pre-giveaway crowd, as I expect. So I assume after I announce it, only the loyal and true will stay. But anyway, I'm grateful for all of you for coming by. My buddy Russ, of course.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember how to do this. Sorry, it's been a while. Hey, Russ, how's it going?
Going good. Can't wait to hear it.
Sweet. And let's go and see who's out there today. Today we got John from What If I Could. Welcome. Troy Pritchard, welcome. Kenneth Wilson, Dave Kraus, Ashley West, Mako Shark. Welcome all. Let's see, David Davis. Love that name. It's two Davids. David Davis. It's like Johnny Johnson.
Yeah.
Mike, Mr. Mike from W4FEJ, Mike Blyer. Let's see here. We got Stephen Toronto. Welcome. And let's see what else we got on the list here. Marcello, Bruce, Big D, Scott Malik, Glenn from Michigan. Surprised I haven't seen Kevin from Philadelphia. I always like it when somebody says, I'm this person from this place. Of course, we have our famous Russ. Let's see who else we have. Bobby, how's it going? And Ed Newman, good to see you. There's Kevin from Philadelphia. And as I scroll down the list, Chris Copenal, Paul Stewart, all the regulars. I love it. Donald DuPont, Bart Bixel. Let's see, Kevin Els. I don't know if I missed anyone. I said Paul. Yes. All right. So, well, folks, obviously today's the Kimberly Clemens here too.
She's going on Dave's name. You got to watch that.
There you go. Well, welcome one and all. And well, tonight what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a nice fancy little. I'll tell you what. I'll start doing it, and you guys will see this. It's kind of a homey type of sign, and we're going to be working with double. It's not going to be a text-on-text sign, but it is. It's a little bit different. It's going to be kind of a text-in-text sign. Not a text on text. Because for those of you familiar with text on text, you have, like, let's say let's say John Smith, you put your last name Smith and it's at a lower level, and then John is raised above it. So you'll actually see two different levels. Well, this is going to be all at the same level, and it's going to be a nice little sign. And so we'll we'll go from there. Let me get this thing going here. Hang on a second. Let me scribble the sayings here, because some good sayings here. I'll go ahead and share. Let's see. Home is where your story begins. Is where nice touchy-feely sayings.
Yeah.
Where your story begins. The second one will be family is a gift that lasts forever. Is a gift that lasts forever, or until you get sick of them and go on a Harley Davidson road trip.
I'm all for it.
There you go. And then, all because two people fell in love. All right. All right. So let's get cracking. This should be fairly simple. Let's try. Let's go to our share screen and jump over to. Well, let's share the screen first. That would help. Mhm. And we shall go to our Patrick. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and create a new file, our usual. And this time I'm going to make it nice and big. I'm going to make it 24 inches wide. As always, I explain it to everyone. I personally like the machine bed. Some people like the material surface. It's a 2-foot by 3 foot, which is the size of the bed that I'm working with at the moment. And let's go ahead and do the sign. Let's try it a good proportion here. We'll start at 0, 0. And it's going to be 24 inches wide, and we will make it 6 inches high. We'll try that. That's a good sign here. So now let's, again, this is going to be so simple, sort of. The hardest part is picking the actual font. So let's try picking something. Okay, so the first one is home. We're going to do a nice little home here. And I'm going to use a regular. I'm not going to go crazy here. I'm just going to use the Times New Roman and bold. And it's going to be nice and big here. So, oops. There we go. We're going to make it as big as that. That sounds good. Let's go ahead and center it. Oops. And there we go. All right. This could use a bit of space over here, but I'm not going to worry about. Well, yeah, I have to worry about it now. So let's go ahead and convert to curves. Take this, move it over because I want a bit more space there. There we go. Now we'll just take the whole thing and unite it once more. And again, we align it. I'm holding the shift key, align all of this to this, and then there it is. All right, so we have our home. Well, half the job is done.
There you go.
Now we're going to do a lot of this is mostly choosing the it's choosing the bits and all that stuff. So, but it's a pretty darn simple. It's a pretty simple sign, folks, that I'm teaching here. So now let's do again. Let's go with the text, and this time I'm going to type in. Home is where your story begins. So home is where your story begins. With a little period there. All right. So now this one is going to be, we're going to make it some sort of a nice script, but a nice, decent script. I don't want, what is wrong with this today? Hang on a second, folks. My computer's acting up. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Looking for something. Bermuda? No, that's too ugly. We're going to look for a nice, like Edwardian or something like that. Let me see if I find Edwardian script or something similar.
Mike said sign painter is nice.
Is it a nice script?
That's what he says.
All right, we'll give that a shot. If I can, let me see if I can find, shoot, I was hoping to find Edwardian script. I always have that here, and now I don't. I don't know why. It's vanished.
Want me to send it to you?
No, I got it here. Now that I'm here. Let me look. No, I got it. In fact, all I got to do is do a little search here. In fact, let me go to here. New folder. Search Edwardian. Come on. Holy cow, this thing's lagging today. It's very strange. All right, name matches Edwardian. There you are. Okay, so let's go copy, and let's go paste, and let's go back to the thing here. Because, oops, not that one. I gotta go to. I'm in the. Okay, so Edwardian script. Now it should be on this desktop as well. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. All right. Right click, install. Now let's see if it's installed in this wonderful thing. So click here. Go all the way to the bottom because they usually end up at the bottom. No, not at the bottom. Let's see if the E is in there. Nope. Got to close and open. Okay, so save as, I'll call it Home Family Love. And let's close this up and let's start this again. Big Car Pro, licensed to Javier Unzueta. Oh, how exciting. Ooh, there we are. Go back to this. Go back to this. Now let's see if we got it. There we are. All right. Now let us go and zoom in and preferably enlarge this. Yeah, this is quite... Okay, so home is where your story begins. Isn't that wonderful? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to convert the curves, all of this. All right, and then we're going to unite it, or rather, you know. And then we're going to do a nice fancy schmancy little outline here. Let's go out where we don't want to go outwards 1 inch. Boy, that would be a disaster. Let's try 0.25. I don't know if that'll work. We'll try it. Oh my goodness. Too much. Let's go 0.1. And I don't care about the vector validator. There we go. That's good. That's very nice. All right, so now we have all the makings for a wonderful sign here. We have this section, which we should actually take every one of these exteriors and the little holes on the... Well, actually, let me just do this first, because this will be easier if I do this and then unselect, or rather there, and get rid of these. All right, so now I've selected everything here, but I also have these little holes here, you know.
Right.
Okay, so now let's group this. Okay, so we have our solid group. We have our not so solid group. Whatever. And
well, Bruce has a question.
Yeah.
He said, what about if you lose the cursive script on the word home? Take that part out because you already have the home in the background. You can do it either way. It's your show.
We could, yeah, we could do it either way. We could do it either way. No, you're absolutely right. And I had considered that when I was doing this and stuff. But the one I saw that had the home in it, so I figure, But you're right. It's that'll save us some space there. Okay, so we have this. Now, what we want to do is the following. We want to, let's try this. We select this one, and the outline. Okay. So now we have all those, and let me just make sure that actually, let's see if this works first of all. So that's the beautiful thing. I got to tell you, folks, that's the beautiful thing about the what's this called? The preview. You can actually see if your thing works before starting to goof around and go, oh, now I know what to do. You know, don't second guess yourself, because right now I'm second guessing and go, this is not going to work. But let's see, maybe it will. So I'm going to do a simple profile cut, and we're going to do it with a 1/16 inch end mill. The cut depth, well, see, this is what I don't like. Hang on a second. Let me. I don't want to change. I don't want to change the size now. So let's just leave it at 0.75. But anyway, this is exactly what I want to do. So now it'll do my little thing, and then I will reset and preview all toolpaths. All right, so far that's definitely not what I want, but let's find out. Let's see what we got here. Might be what I want. Nope, definitely not what I want. Okay, so yep, we got to do it separately. Okay, so what we got to do, the first step is duplicate this piece. Actually, no, it's you know what? All we really got to do is
Rob Schuster just joined us. Good evening, Rob.
All right, so what we're going to do is the following. Is that Rob Schuster?
Yes, sir. Ah,
sweet. Rob, next week I'll be, and for everybody actually, next week I'm going to be home. Now that Rob came in, hang on a second. Let me and next, wrong one. There we go. Next week, folks, we're going to have a show and tell. So by all means, send to javiunboxed@gmail.com. Send all your current projects, whatever. I mean, there's a friend of ours out there that's building a shed. Send us pictures of the shed. Carpentry, CNC, anything you'd like to share with the group. You know, a hobby, if you will, whatever you like. I'm more than happy to go through them all and display it. Just share with the community. You know, the more we share, the more ideas each of us has, and you know, I mean, we're not for a bunch of different people with a bunch of different ideas. I'd be, you know, stuck at home in my off time, bored out of my skull. So can't have that. So I mentioned this because Rob always reminds me of this, because I do collect people's stuff, and Rob has sent numerous show and tell projects that we have not gotten to yet because we haven't had a show and tell. Next week is it. So by all means, folks, bring in your show and tells, and we'll be happy to show them.
I'm not saying a damn
and tell all about them. All right, so here we go. Let's see here. Let's continue with this. Now, what we want to do with this is we want to include, basically, the home is going to be a negative space. So what we have to do is we have to erase this from the home. So we're going to take the home and shift minus this, and then we're going to click the minus sign. Boom. It should. Yep. That's exactly what I want. Okay. So now you'll notice that we have the home is cut out, and the home is where your story begins, is in there. Let's see how we're doing on time. Perfect timing. So now I know this is going to work. I don't even have to. Well, okay, we'll do it for you guys. Just for whatever's and grins. We take this. Oh, sorry. We take all of this. And we do the old calculate. And now that should cut out, if I'm not mistaken, unless I am wrong, and I am never wrong. They are headed dead into the fire swamp. Okay. Zoom in, zoom in. Now, you guys may not see this, but let's remove the pieces because these will just drop out. And so if we remove these pieces, look what we have the makings of. We have the makings of a sign with an area. And this part, we're going to have to do something about this because clearly this piece is going to fall out.
Yeah.
But that's easy enough. That's easy enough. Let's see. All of this can interconnect, so not a problem. So here's what we'll do. It's a very simple procedure. We take a box. We go right here, and that box, and what we'll do is we'll take this box and we shall center it. Okay, this one going to this one. And we shall center it. That's not centered. Oh, okay, I know why. Because actually, let's put this one to this one and try that. Yeah, there. Now it's centered. And now we're going to take this minus, oh, actually, these minus this and see if that works. And subtract. There it is, folks. There's our little notch. It's kind of our own homemade stencil.
Yeah.
And we could have used stencil for this. So, but anyway, let's continue. Now, the next thing that happens is, of course, we take this piece and we shall do the old V-carve. And we'll V-carve 60-degree bit, and we'll make it just 0.2 inches. Calculate. I'll just say OK, and let's see what happens with it. Reset preview, preview all toolpaths. All right, so now, if you'll notice, let me get in a little closer here, folks. So we have home is where but obviously this font here that I chose, which is very, very nice, is not quite, okay, first of all, let me get rid of these stupid removal tools. And this one is quite thin, so we're going to do a little bit more to it. We're going to do a V-carve. We're going to try it again, and this time we're going to do, I know this may screw it up, but let's see. V-carve, this time we'll V-carve, actually not a V-carve, we're going to do a profile. We're just going to do 0.1, and we're going to do on the line with a V-carve. So select the V-carve, 60-inch, and calculate. All right, so let's see how that sort of turned out. Yeah, see, I knew I didn't like it, but you know, what we got to do is basically, I don't want to say start from scratch, but take the we could do something else. We could do something else to fix this. First of all, let me remove this. We could do something else, and that is the following. Let's take this and we'll do one of these outward 0.01. Let's see how that yeah. Okay. Let me undo that and try 0.03. Might be too much, but that's not bad. Okay, let me do the old close this. Make sure I group this. We'll do the new one instead of the old one. So let's zoom in here. you notice we did what we did was basically, you saw how thin these things were. These things were so thin. If we go over here to this section here, it's so thin that the V-bit is barely tipping in. So all I did was make it just a little bit bigger, but not quite so big that it'll cover all of this. So let's see how that works.
Rob gave you a suggestion on that. If that
Oh,
doesn't
by
work,
all means.
he said try setting your start depth a little bit lower, and it said that will bold your font a little.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That actually will work very nicely as well. Okay, so preview all toolpaths. And there you go. Hang on. Now that looks real nice. All right, so now we got a nice, quick line. So home is where your story begins. Oh, isn't that nice?
That looks good.
Now let's take a pause here. Take a pause to drop half our audience. Okay, folks, let's make the announcement. We picked, and Russ has already seen these. We picked 5 names already because I didn't want to deal with with wasting time and trying to figure out the spinning contraption. So we just a random number generator. Okay, so, and I'm gonna call them out one at a time. The first one, who is here, and answers within, what did I say, 60 seconds, Russ?
Yeah. First
one who answers within 60 seconds wins. This is for the drawing for the CNC CNC controller and all the and the works. So the first name is, you got a drum roll in there?
No, I didn't get a drum roll.
Okay, we're ready. The first name is, or the first winner, or the winner is Ken Murphy. Ken Murphy, if you're out there,
your time has started.
You've got 1 minute.
Yeah, there we go. Got 30 seconds left. You better answer up.
Oh, wait a second. There's one thing I needed to do. We might have to restart this. He might be hang on a second. Well, yeah, they would have still been listening to it. Let me see. Okay,
5 seconds left.
Let me restart the clock. I doubt he's here, but just in case, please sign in. Because if he's on Facebook, he wouldn't have. I'm not sure if Facebook is working fine or not, but just in case. I've
got Facebook on.
Oh, do you? All right.
On you and Bart and a couple other ones. They're on Facebook. Yeah.
Hang on a second. I'm trying to get the. I know you got it, but I'm trying to get the.
Hello, John.
Is John in?
John Cousins, yeah. If you're waiting on him, his time is up.
All right, let's go ahead and do this. I'm sorry, I just gotta. I'm trying to get the. I'm trying to log in on my other account here on my YouTube to see the stuff live. Sorry. Well, anyway.
Yeah. I'm looking at it on YouTube as well.
Okay, are you? All right, hang on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to. All right. Let's see here. All right. So the second name is Kenneth Wilson. Kenneth Wilson.
Your time has started.
I know I saw him here. I know I saw him here earlier. So
better pop up quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when you come early and you don't stay.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Got 20 seconds left.
Oh, I just got a message. I just got a message from Ken Wilson.
You got him?
Yep. His computer's down, but he sent me a Facebook message through his phone.
I guess that works as well.
That'll work. Hey, I'm not picky.
4 seconds left.
Holy crap. I mean, holy cow.
That's our
show and stuff.
Not getting it.
That's funny. Okay, so Ken Wilson is the current winner.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Chris says sounds rigged.
No. These are the winners, by the way, folks. My cohort here and stuff.
You notice my name wasn't on that list.
I saw the only one I saw out there was Kenneth Wilson and Glenn. I know Glenn's out there, right? Glenn, are you out there?
He was earlier.
I mean, Jerry Bonham and Jacob Carlson. I mean, you didn't win, but are you guys out there?
I don't remember seeing those names.
Just kind of curious. Yeah, there's Glenn. Nice. All right. So back to the salt mines. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a disturbing message and something I had to take care of, and it couldn't have come at a worse time.
Well, that's all right. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I'm trying to now that that's over with. Give me a second, folks, to resolve this issue. I apologize, but it's a work situation, and I got to sign into my account. See what in the world is going on. They said they sent me here. I'll share. They said they sent me pictures on a painting on a job that was painted that is not exactly kosher. So,
well, I'm surprised you've actually gained viewers instead of lost. You're going up and down, up and
Don't
down.
tell them. They're probably late and expecting me to call the name at the end of the. That's funny. That is funny. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen.
Troy says, congrats to the winner, but I could have used that to kick me in the butt to get restarted into rebuilding my Gatton.
What's that? Oh,
He
Troy?
said he could.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, yeah, he could have used it to get restarted into rebuilding his Gatton again.
Well,
But Troy, take the fact that you almost won it to get you started.
Troy, talk to me. There's something maybe I can. I mean, I'll see if I can. There was a discount once on a Gatton page and some other stuff, but I'll see if there's something we can work out. So things are going well, and my goal is to have everybody, out there working it. So just give me a call if anything, and if there's anything you need to work out, we'll work it out or whatever. Difficult with. I'm not one to be a financier, but you never know. I just want to help you guys. Honestly, I want to help you guys. If there's any way I can help you get going, if you're not already with the CNC, because really, after a little bit of a learning curve, which we're seeing here, the rest of this is fun, folks. It's really
Chris told Troy, he said, less time on YouTube.
Yeah, look at what Chris said. Troy, less time on YouTube and more time building. Leave YouTube in the background while you're building.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Okay, folks. Let's see. Let's go back here. Now, the second one. Oh, yeah. Let me helps if I share the screen. Okay, so the second one is basically we're gonna do exactly what we did on the first. We're gonna take our and we're gonna let's start at 7. Oh no, that's 0, 7, and we're gonna do another 24 by 6. And create, and then let's go ahead and do the third while we're here. 14 and create. Boom. I've got it about an inch between them. So the second line, if I can remember. Yes. Family is a gift that lasts forever. So let's see if we have any complications with family. So we'll do family, and I may switch it to well, let's I was going to say I may switch this to stencil. It might, well, we can fudge with it, so that's not a big deal. So here we go. New Times Roman, family, and create, and there it is. Family. We'll move this here. We'll move this bigger. Ooh, that's a nice, easy, big one. And then we'll worry about the stuff at the end, because obviously that's when we gotta. Again, the beautiful thing about CNC, folks, is once we have one done. Hang on a second. Close, shift, and centered. Let's go ahead and do the top one as well, and that would be love. And by the way, they're in backward order. Home is on top, family's in the middle, and then love will be on the bottom. But for the sake of this, let's do love. That way we don't have to change the here we go. Boom. Love. And oof. And here we go. We got this, goes to this, and that is centered right there. All right, so we have our two things there. Let's go ahead and keep an eye on the questions if there are any.
I shall.
let's see. Family is a gift that lasts forever. So family is a gift. Oops, not all capitalized, and helps if I can spell family.
Hey.
That lasts forever. Ah, this thing's huge.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Your text is going to be awful small.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh, no, that won't do it. Let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. This is going to be Edwardian script. It's going to be here. It's going to go to here. That'll do. Family is a gift that lasts forever. We shall take it. We shall convert to curves. We shall group. We shall make one, since we want to do this like we did last time, we're going to make one outwards 0.03, offset, continue anyway, and group that one. And then we're going to go back to the original one. We can get to it. And we're going to offset it by, I think we did 0.2, the original. Yeah. So boom, offset 0.2. Yes, continue anyway. I don't need. Okay, so was it 0.2 or 0.1?
I think you started out with 0.1. Then I don't know if you changed it.
No, I think I started out with 0.2 and it wasn't enough. Now I don't remember, but that doesn't look. That looks way too big. Let's try 0.2. I mean 0.1. Yeah, it was 0.1 is what we went with. Sounds about right. Okay, so we take this one, we group it, and then we do the family and hold this, and that would be that minus that. So boom. Hang on a second. Okay. We have to, first of all, convert the curves, which we forgot to do. Ungroup, convert the curves. No, it already was converted. Hang on a second. Let me just.
You converted it once already.
Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, this one wasn't converted to curves. That's the one that was missing. Okay, convert to curves. Now group this one. Now take this one. Goodness gracious. And then subtract. Bam. So there we go. We have our united family there. Now, we just want to make sure that nothing drops out. And what we'll do is, you know what? We're going to go ahead and run it. At this point, okay, so this is going to be, sorry, folks. We already have this here, which is this one and that one. So let's go ahead and add to that this and this and this and all of this. All right. And oh, it helps if I actually open it up. I hate it when that happens. And we calculate. Okay, so what I did was basically I did the family first. Now we'll go back. The V carve, that's the outer one. We're just going to select the outer one here. I'm holding the shift key down for the second one and calculate. So if we do both, reset preview, preview all toolpaths. Let's get rid of the little holes. We're missing our 0, so we got to fix that. That's a selection issue. That when I changed the 0, the O, it unselected it. So I'm just I want to see if, and what I'll do is here. Let me see. I'm dying to do the third one, but I want to make sure that these are correct before I continue. All right, so now you'll notice, yeah, everything, let's see, that's connected to that. An easy way to do this is double click. Now that you've cut all the family, and this is what it'll look like. Except I want to make sure that nothing drops out. So what I'll do is I'll double click here to get rid of all of it. Now you'll notice if that hole would have been there like we originally did without the notches, it would have remained. So here, nothing remains. And because nothing remains, just make sure there's no, oh, look, there's a little something there, but that's fuzz. I don't care about that. So now let's go back to this profile, and we have to select, notice how the O is missing. There it is. Recalculate. Okay, that part's done, and now we have only the one left. And this should be a quick run, folks. This will be a quick run. 46. All right, and we got, again, drawing the text, and this is going to be all because two people fall in love. All because, I would have picked a better phrase, but two people fall in love. I'm going to capitalize that L. Ooh, that's too fancy. No, let me leave it L. Yeah, that's better. I don't want to complicate this more than it already is. Okay, so we'll go there. We'll go there. And maybe a little bit less. Hello. There we go. There we go. That looks good. Make sure it's centered. So now we'll go to, okay, this has got to be converted to curves and grouped. And we'll go to this and make sure that it's centered. Bam, it is. Then we go to this and then this and make sure that's centered. Now it is. And we do our usual, oh, we got to convert the curves. And then we have to group. And then we do the old, this thing, 0.1, offset, continue anyway, and make sure we group it before we lose it. And then this one, we go to, same thing, but it's going to be 0.03. Offset, yes, continue, and of course, group. So now we have all our pieces. We go back to the profile, which we've had these two. Now we're going to do these also as well. Oh, no.
You're going to lose that O, right?
Yep. We're first of all, we need two steps. First of all, we need this. We need to remove this from here, but also, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and hate it when that happens. Hang on a second.
You had a couple of questions while you were messing with it.
Please go ahead, ask away.
All right. Paul Stewart asked, would it be quicker to have all the V-carving grouped together?
Well, that's kind of what I'm doing as far as.
And what point? I'm not sure where he saw this. And the second question was Scott. He says, if you get a controller with Ethernet and you have to change to USB, what can you do?
If you get a controller with Ethernet and you have to change to USB, you're going to have to swap out the controller. Depends on which controller it is. Some of them have both. But if you get a controller with Ethernet, see, the other way is, well, no, the other way is just as difficult either way. Whichever one you get, you have to stick to it. Now, the thing is, the USB controller is only like $30. So it's a lot of wiring, but you're good to go there. Okay, so this minus this is this. Okay, good. And then I will. This is what the step that I missed. I had to subtract this part, and bam, there it is. Because we want the whole thing to be now. You could do all the V-carve at once. The reason I did it this way, I mean, we actually are doing all the V-carve at once. What I'm doing actually, oh, hang on a second. Let me go to my, what I'm doing is, this is an easy way to remember what, the other two are done and working, and I have to just match this love and the, okay, so I have to hold the shift key down, choose these and these, and there it is. Now they're all chosen, and just recalculates. So in essence, I am actually doing exactly that. I'm doing them all the V-carves at the same time. Like right now, these two V-carves are chosen. So if I go to the V-carve and I zoom in, you see this outside one. The inside one's the original. We don't touch that. But the outside one, that's chosen. So now we'll do this, and we'll hold our shift key down and select that one. So now we have all of them in essence, and we calculate it. Or I should say recalculate it, because we'd already calculated for the other ones. We could duplicate this and do them all separate if you want. I mean, many paths lead to Rome. So if we preview all tool paths, hopefully, nope, I already see something wrong. I already see something wrong. The F of family is missing. So let's go back to, and sure enough, if we go to the profile, it's not chosen. So let's go zoom in. That's the beautiful thing about doing it this way also, is if you're missing a piece, you just, go to, just before you hit calculate, I hold my shift key down, I select that piece and calculate, and everything will be applied as it is to that. Let me see if there's an A missing or anything in here. Well, there's these two dots. That's not going to, see these two dots here in family, they're part of the stick of the A, but they're so small that 1/16 inch bit will never get there. So you could just kiss that goodbye and reset. Reset preview all toolpaths. Hello. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and zoom in. We'll take out all our things. This is just to see it. Oops. Bit time consuming, but it'll work. I just got another message from Kenneth. He says he apologizes. He can't get it back up again, but
that's okay.
I hope to see you. I know you're watching. I hope on your phone. I hope to see you next week.
Scott said he was talking about your hobby box when he's asked the question about the Ethernet controller and the USB.
I don't offer an Ethernet one. Mine is strictly a USB. I didn't want to calculate. I didn't want to. Let's see. Yeah, this is gone also. Okay. All right, there we are, folks. These are the three. Now, what I would do is I would notch out this little area here, because the originals that I am redoing this from are right here. So basically, this is what I was reproducing, and all you really need to do is do a little do a notch, do a quarter circle off each corner, and you're done. Again, these you'd be better off with cutting a piece that's say quarter inch or half inch. Obviously, I wouldn't go with 3/4 for something like this. And definitely V-carve the inside, because you're never going to get a bit all the way through and with these tight little things. And that's basically, that's the long and the short of it. All right, so let's go ahead and answer some questions there. Okay, so yeah, Scott, the Hobby Box is the CNC controller of the Hobby Box is, I mean, if you wanted, I could. It would be a bit more. I could customize one. The problem is I would have to completely retool the front panel, which will involve a lot of work. I mean, you know, and if I do it for one person, I know I'm gonna the labor's not going to be a bad investment, because eventually somebody else will want it and stuff. But honestly, everybody's got USB. USB is more reliable than the Ethernet. So with Ethernet, there's always collisions and things like that. With USB, it's a straight shot. The only problem, each one has their limitations. Parallel is one of the most stable, but it's very antiquated technology. And it's one of the most stable as long as you don't have anything else connected. USB, a little less stable, but again, than parallel. And that's a point of contention, because there's people that will tell me, no way, USB is much better, you know, and I can go either way on those. USB is the most universal serial bus. It's in the name, but it's the most common now, and it allows you to use your computer for multiple applications. The only thing you got to be very, very careful with is don't overtax your computer, because at that point you're going to have an issue with the you're going to have an issue with the computer. It might skip a beat, if you will, and lose a step or two, or completely lock up. Very rare, but it happens and stuff. And then there is Ethernet, which basically Ethernet. The problem with Ethernet is not the computer itself; it's the Ethernet network. How busy is your network? Because I've had issues where one computer can completely bog down the entire network, whether Wi-Fi or Ethernet, or sometimes there's a wiring issue, and then sometimes there's an IP issue where one computer. I know this is supposed to have been taken care of years ago, but it hasn't. Again, these are rare instances, but if you force your computer to be a static IP and there's already that IP on the system, then it's going to basically be, you know, knocking heads, and one of them's not going to work. But in the process, there are just going to be added collisions in the Ethernet network. The more collisions you have, the slower. You need super smooth and fast flow, flawless connection. Because the thing about the controllers is it's very, very simple, basic logic technology. It's simple gates. It's simple on-off circuits. That's all it is. It's simple, raw, binary data going into those stepper drivers, and it's live. It is, while there are buffers involved and things like that, if there is a disconnect between the computer and the drivers, there's no recovering from it. It's basically going to go, ooh, I don't know what to do. You know, so, and what version USB will it handle? Let me double check on that. I believe it's 3.0, but now here's the thing. It doesn't matter. I hate to say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. the speed is 100K. Okay. Well, drivers are not meant for anything more than that, and not that it matters, because you're even at 1,000K, the bit speed is faster than the motors, the motor steps. So that being said, USB 1 is overkill for the speed. USB 2, same thing. USB 3. So no, Scott, I haven't come out with the. I have a couple of when I first started designing the box. I spent about $5,000 of my money to invest in just every single configuration possible. I went with NEMA 23s. I went with NEMA 34s. I went with NEMA 17s. I went with so, you know, and the goal was originally to get something going for a professional do-it-yourself level CNC, like the Gatton CNC, which is basically something inexpensive that you can do yourself, but it's not like a Shapeoko or something that it's not a toy, or it's not one of these Chinese, no offense to the Chinese, but it's not one of those, you know, erector sets that you put together, you know, that are it's if you build a solid unit, and it again depends on your build, but if you build a solid unit or an Avid, it'll work with an Avid. That's not a problem. I've got more than half a dozen customers that are running Avids. They didn't want to pay $1,500 for a controller that they could get from me for $575, or with the motors at the current time, because it's just after Black Friday 2020. I don't know whether the prices will go up or not. I always got to put that disclaimer in my YouTube videos for somebody sees it years later. It's about $700 with the motors, $775 somewhere. Anyway, the and all the bells and whistles. The main goal was to build a reliable, quality, and as inexpensive as possible setup. This is basically the design that most people either end up doing, or you know, many do. A lot of people go with Linux. They know the programming in Linux. They're very happy with Linux, and they go through that extra. It's like the difference between in the old days Mac and DOS. I mean, you know, a lot of people like DOS because they grew up learning DOS, and they don't mind typing a million lines when they can just go, you know, with graphical user interfaces of the original Macs and Macs Plus and stuff. And then obviously Windows comes along, and you know, the whole thing, everything, the whole thing changed. I've tried, so I invested money and tried every single combination, not just the motors, obviously, stepper drivers, everything from the TP6600s, which I burned out 3 of them. And I do not want a single burned out. We've sold so far. Oh, by the way, folks, I broke the 100 barrier. I don't know if you guys were aware. I've got 104 units sold since February of this year. And it's basically, it's not because people can do it themselves for cheaper. They could save a couple $100. It's not because my design is a secret or anything like that. I'm happy to. It's on my webpage. It's listed every single component I use. So it's not like it's a secret. There are dozens of videos out there on how to put these things together. It's a simple matter of I back my product, as some of you have experienced. I had one client the other day. He turned his on. Everything's running fine and stuff. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to assume anything, but he put his away and he brought it back out. in bringing it back out, there were 3 or 4 connections that were messed up. He's not here now, so I'll say it. I think he was tinkering with it, the insides of it. And people do. People are like, oh, well, you know, I told him no problem. Look, it's out of warranty, so I won't fix it I won't pay for the shipping. But I told him, and this is what I tell every one of my clients, you pay for shipping both ways. And if there's a problem with a part, pay for the part. I'll do the repair at no charge. Not a problem. So you can rest assured that 3, 4, 5, 10, hopefully I'm still alive, only 55, 10 years down the line, if you buy a CNC controller from me, oh, it's not working. I left it in the dust. There's something wrong, something, you know, because sometimes things sit for a long time and you crank them back up or you put the wrong voltage or whatever. Send it. I'll fix it. Most of the parts are in the 20 to $50 range. Usually each one's about $30 individually. There's just a lot of them. But it's usually only one that goes bad, if that. In all my experience so far, I've had one power supply go bad, and that was because our beloved postal service, theoretically, I'm not accusing. I know because Russ is shaking his head. not accusing. May have dropped it severely because it takes a big drop for it to lose that ceramic. I opened it up and saw what it was. You know, I just swapped out the power supply. No big deal. Other than that, it's always been a connection issue. Always. There's 231 connections in that thing. You know, and if you don't touch the box, it's not likely to fail. If you open it up and go, ooh, I wonder what this does, and you're moving wires around, you're going to break some connections, and that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's Chris said it. Chris couldn't have put it more perfect. You can actually hook up a UC100 to the. The UC100 connects Ethernet to. We were talking earlier about different configurations. Mm-hmm. And he has the UC100. The thing I've never liked about the UC100 is the beautiful thing about this controller is it's universal. I could stick Mach 3 on 20 different computers, and I can jump from room to room, just pick up my box, reconnect it over there, buy a new set of motors, and you can have 3 different CNCs, you know, using the same controller. Obviously, eventually you want one for each, but whereas UC-CNC, I don't know. I've never used it. I can't say anything, but I've heard that it has a license just for one computer. I know you got to call them up to undo the license, to redo, and you got to use their software. And that's one of the other things that I was researching in the beginning. Not just all the different stepper drivers. Then rest assured, I ain't using TB6600s just because they burned out on me. And I know the old Xylotex used a board which had 4 TB6600s on there also. But I've also known people like Michael Chipser and others that have complained about, you know, the thing burning out. Well, that's because the fan went out, and let me tell you, I've got 3 fans in my machine. It doesn't need one. It doesn't need one the way I've got it configured and with all the airflow. However, I believe in running things extremely cool. It's not a huge added cost. I mean, we're talking a few bucks. It's practically pennies. And so I got a fan in the back. I've got 2 fans blowing right across. That thing is never gonna. I mean, you can run that thing in the Sahara, and it'll be fine. And quiet. Dave Gatton himself said it in the review, which he has taken down, but I still have it. Mm-hmm. He said he's never seen it, and others have said never seen a quieter machine. Well, the fans are quiet; they're brushless motors, and and it's not like I'm going out of my way to get top of the line components. I bought numerous different components of each type, including, and this is what I was getting at, boards. I have about 15 different controller boards, from different makers of parallel boards to just bobs to USB boards and I chose the best ones. The one that I thought was the most. I didn't want to go with. I wanted to go with something with Mach 3, so it has to be a Mach 3 board. That got rid of half of them because I didn't want to be reprogramming a whole new language or working with Linux. And I know a lot of that stuff is very simple, but when you guys are out there in this community and you have an issue with Mach 3 or connecting a touch plate, which mine comes pre-configured and pre-wired, connecting an e-stop, which mine comes pre-configured and pre-wired. All you got to do is 4 screws, mount it somewhere, and plug it in. The whole system was meant that way. I want the reason why you're buying it from me is twofold. Number one, the service to the community that I provide, take it or leave it. The second thing is the ease of use, the plug and play. I mean, it is, you take it, you connect it, you mount 4 motors, which on whatever CNC you get, you're going to see exactly where the motors mount. You mount them, you plug it all in, you go to the website and it'll tell you 2 files to download, and that's it, to configure your Mach 3. It tells you exactly how to do it. You're up and running. You're up and running within, people have been up and running within 15 minutes, they told me. I'll say an hour for the ones that like to take their time and get it right. But regardless, you're running your CNC once, you know. Anyway, yeah, parallel ports, I tried them. And so in the end, I was going to offer a parallel, a USB, and an Ethernet model. But the first 20 boxes that I sold, the first day I had a ridiculous sale. It was $500 with the motors. I lost so much money. You wouldn't even begin, because I didn't know how much the labor cost, and I was just, it was practically cost is what I was selling them at. Actually, I think even a little below cost. But anyway, so everybody bought the USB model. One person chose the parallel, and I talked him out of it because he said, "Oh yeah, I have a USB. Oh, it's better. Yeah, it's better." So it's you know, because in the future you might lose that computer with a parallel, or you might have to buy a parallel. You know, it's older technology.
Chris is asking. He's asking where to send the pictures and stuff for show and tell. I put it in twice already.
Okay, let me give it to you again. JAVI Unboxed.
Yeah.
At gmail.com. Send it right to here, and just forward your show and tells. And next week I will be looking at all those things, and we'll be chatting. Send a little description along with it if you can. And so I'll know, you know, what to talk about, you know, so I don't have to be, because if you're not here by any chance, I'm going to go, hey, what was that thing? Like, that is the weirdest contraption. What is that used for? Oh.
I put that in there twice. Your JAVI Unboxed.
It didn't pop in?
I thought it did. I've answered that question twice.
Wait a second. Let me see something, Russ. Hang on. Because I see, are you on the account that you're normally on?
I'm on, I don't know what I'm on.
Okay, nah, hang on. Oh, no, that's, wait a second.
I know I put it in there twice.
No, I'm looking, I'm trying to get your, hang on a second. I'm trying to, why doesn't it have, you know what? I know why. Hang on.
Yeah, it's in there. It's on my name that I'm using for StreamYard as well, Russ Meadows.
Yeah, for some reason or another, it's really goofy. I'm signed in.
It's there. I mean, I'm looking at it on YouTube. It's right after he asked the question.
I'm signed in as I've got my yellow logo, which is my Javi's Woodshop logo. But up on the top right, I see my Javier Unzueta, my regular YouTube account. You know, it's the same email. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's the same email, but one's the Javi's Wood Shop, which is where I have all my videos, and the other one's my personal Javi Unboxed, which I don't have any. For some reason or another, it's logged me into the Javier Unzueta on the top corner, but I'm typing my stuff as Javi's Wood Shop. YouTube is confusing.
Well, I'm saying they say they don't see it, but I'm looking at it twice on here, and I'm on the YouTube, looking at it from YouTube, not StreamYard, and it's there 2 times. So I don't know how. If I can see it, somebody else should be able to see it. If not, I won't worry about posting anymore. I'll just talk it, speak it instead of trying to talk it.
Okay. Hang on a second. Getting a response, something. Okay. So yeah, so Mike sees it and Paul doesn't.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Glenn says it didn't show up either. Oh, well, I don't know. I have no idea. I put the same thing.
Well, hopefully everybody sees the one that I put up. So
yeah,
just now. So
I'm being censored.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
it's goofy. Yeah. You're being censored. Well, I can say I know how that feels.
Yeah.
But that's another story. But anyway, folks, we're past the 9 o'clock hour, so I try not to make these things go too much longer. Thank you all for joining, and we shall. By the way, Javi Unboxed is not just about CNC, but lately it has been, and I'm continuing to do the projects because it's simple for me to just get on here and do a project and stuff, and it takes a long time to prepare a fancy schmancy show. Not this type of show. This type of show, I just get on there and do it. But it takes a long time to prepare like a guest shot or something like that, or even a show and tell doesn't take that long. And a question and answer is the easiest. Except when if you have 27 people like I do now, well, then it could be a good question and answer session. But sometimes you can't always count on that. And then all of a sudden you got 15 people and they all know they all know all about CNC. So maybe you'll have one guy on there asking questions. Now, when I get a couple hundred people, then I'll do a few more question and answer sessions. But you guys are always welcome to ask questions. So by all means, we'll always answer them. So folks, thank you again for coming by. And I will see you next week for another wonderful show. Remember, this is Javi Unboxed, so expect sometime in the future. I'm still waiting on certain things to fall into play, but very shortly I'll be out at the property building, and I don't know how that'll interrupt my schedule. I may be, or for that matter, I may be showing you guys some building stuff. I hope you guys enjoy that. It's not just about CNC, so anything you're interested in, hey, shoot it my way. If I have a little bit of if I don't have any interest in it, I'm sorry. But if I have a little bit of interest in it, and I am interested in a lot of things, hey, share the hobby. I'll be do it. Who's gonna win, Tyson or Roy Jones Jr.?
Tyson.
Frank, you missed it. We already made the call earlier. Tyson? Roy Jones. I have no clue who. Then again, I'm not a boxing fan, and I'm hoping that's a boxing reference.
It is.
Okay, well, there you
Tyson
go.
was a heavyweight. Roy Jones wasn't.
I know Tyson, but
yeah.
Roy Jones, never heard.
Wait a minute. Don't put me live. Where'd you go? He left us. We all get when he comes back, y'all tell him, not that button.
Not that
button.
Have a wonderful evening. No, the thing about this magic mouse, you slide it, 2 fingers, you slide it, and it goes to the previous page, and that completely kicks me out of the stream. So my apologies, folks. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and I'll see you all next week for another wonderful episode of Javi Unboxed.